Better?
That's very kind of you, Gary. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
Anyway, moving on.
It's really funny, I'm leaving that in. Come on, light me up. Get me in focus. Ah, that's better. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. You're still steaming up. Just to put things into perspective, this is my first video since my annual holidays, and where we stayed, it sees rain about 3 times a year, or 3 days a year, if that. And I'm not joking. So, oh, it's good to be back vlogging again when the heavens have opened. But you know what? Today, I don't care. I've had to take some shelter, some refuge. Take 2, I need a snapper board, take 2. Time at the moment is 20 to 3, and this is take 2. It stopped raining at long last, and the sun is peeping out. But this video is taking a bit of a turn now, because I'm going to introduce you to somebody into my video. Somebody who I've had the great pleasure of interviewing, and I mean great pleasure of interviewing. And while he's not here, let me just explain the reasons why I say great pleasure. You see, the person I'm about to introduce you to is a vlogger. You probably already know who he is, because I'll use his name on the thumbnail. But in my opinion, there are lots and lots of big channels with presenters that own a camera. There's lots of very good photographers out there who own, or who have quite a small channel, shall we say. But the reason why I'm super excited about meeting this guy, because he is a photographer, in my opinion, an absolute first-rate photographer. He shows his work all over the world, and on top of that, he's an excellent vlogger as well, and that is a rare combination. Trust me, it's a rare combination. I'll introduce you to him in a few seconds. He's
Hang on. Sorry, Gary.
Is it working? Complete amateur. I take back everything I just said about this man. He's a complete amateur.
Who are you?
You don't have to be too nervous about meeting me, you know. You don't have to be that nervous.
Well, I am. Look at the side of it. I stare him square in the nipple.
So it's another take 2, because said person who I'm with today didn't get his microphone right. That's just typical, so I've had to do it all over again. Right, so this is going to be a little bit awkward, because not only am I going to do a bit to camera, because I want to put a vlog out. I'm in a place I'm super excited to photograph today, but even more so is because I'm with somebody very special to me anyway. This is why it's awkward, because Mike, in his infinite wisdom, said, I've got a good idea. Why don't I make the first 5 minutes of my video all about the behind the scenes of your video? So now every time I talk to camera, I've got another camera that's whizzing around me, and I'm mic'd up as well. So, right, let's get to where we're going. Right, so let me give you the premise of this video. I'm at this rather amazing place called Wistman's Wood, and I can't wait to get stuck into it. But before I do that, I want to introduce you to somebody. It's quite funny actually, because at the car park I did say, I got an idea, Mike, if you float around in the background we can then do a big reveal. But then I realised afterward, chances are I'm going to use Mike's picture and his name in the thumbnail. I mean, why wouldn't I? It's a good draw for my video. So I'm out doing a video with this man here. It's Mike Browne. Let me get the embarrassing bit out of the way first of all. I'm super embarrassed to say this, but look, if any of you guys that follow me regularly, if you've never heard of Mike Browne, which I find that very hard to believe, but if you haven't, please check him out. I'll leave all the links down below, especially if you're new to photography and you want to learn about photography, because this man is an absolute master. Mike.
That's very kind of you, Gary. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
Anyway, moving on.
You know, it's really funny. I'm leaving that in. Yeah, I'm leaving that in. Right. Right. So
yes. Yes, I am. We're good at this. We're good at this.
So back to me before Mike speaks. I interviewed Mike. I was rather embarrassed. Travelled all the way down. I met Mike and I interviewed him about probably a couple of years before COVID.
Easy.
And I thoroughly enjoyed meeting Mike, and I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. And since then, I think it's fair to say that we've kept in touch.
Yeah.
And now, rolling on all these years later, we just decided to meet up and do a vlog together.
Absolutely. We've been planning this for bloody ages, and it was Gary's idea to come out here, and I thought it'd be interesting to do a video about behind the scenes, what you guys don't get to see when Gary or any other YouTuber makes a vlog. You see 10 or 15 minutes. You don't see all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, how many times, all that walking backwards and forwards, things that go wrong, like not realising the sound isn't on, and then you've walked all the way, you've done all these pieces to camera, and they go, oh, there's no audio on it, and you've got to do it all again. This happens to everyone.
So it's a bit awkward. It's hard enough working with one camera, but now I've got another camera behind me and two microphones on as well. Right, so without waffling anymore, this is the formula, or the format, shall I say, for this video. I'm going to delve into this amazing, and it is an amazing place, isn't it?
Fantastic.
I'm going to delve into this amazing place and try and create a normal vlog. Mike, for his channel, is going to create a little bit of a behind the scenes vlog. I'll leave a link to that down below, of course, as well. But at the end of this video, I then want to catch up with Mike. Like I said, I'm not going to interview Mike because I've already done that. And I'm sure not many things have changed in your life too much.
Not really. I got a little bit fatter.
Yeah, I think we all have. But yeah, okay, right. So I'll catch up with Mike towards the end of this video. So my video is one video, but in two halves. Right, now, so for me, as always, I've just turned up at this location. I'll give you a bit of a work through of how I go about finding compositions. Now, the most important thing is for me is we've just walked up the path and the path stops right here. Now, it might well be there's a reason for that. Maybe this is the best part of, let me just turn around so you can see me. There's a good reason, maybe there's a good reason for that. Maybe it's because this is the best area, or maybe you're likely to find the best compositions from here. I don't know. But my thought process is me and everybody else will end up at the same spot. And lazy people will just put the cameras down, take a picture, and maybe wander off. And I'm not like that. Having said that, though, I have seen 2 or 3 amazing compositions from here that I'll probably take. But for me, I want to just head deep into the woods and go a-wandering and try and find something a little unique. The chances of that happening are very rare, but that's irrelevant. It's about trying. So let me just point out a couple of things that I'm looking at. I love this area here. That's really nice. I like the fact that you've got the tree on the right hand side and the branches that create a really nice frame. I like that. Same across here as well. If I just wander across here to open my there, so I'll probably need to come back a bit on this, but I quite like that as well. That's really nice. That's pretty cool. And maybe zooming in and having a good look around here. Now, this isn't a tips video, but one tip I will give you. My favorite lens, which some people find rather odd in an environment like this, is my 70 to 200mm lens, because a 70 to 200mm lens will see things differently to the naked eye. I think with the naked eye you see around about 35, maybe a 50mm, that's our peripheral vision. But when you throw a 70mm or a 200mm lens on there and play about with that focal length, then very often compositions will just present themselves, frames will present themselves. So I'll be doing quite a bit of that as well. What a place though. Look, sorry I'm talking and it's really dark on my face. You see all the greens, all the moss coloured stones. I mean, that on the floor of these moss coloured trees, just incredible. One of my favourites as well, and this is just literally venturing off the path just a little bit, but as you approach the woods to my left hand side, there's an opening, and that looks incredible. Again, it's difficult to say what you're looking for. To me, I'm either looking for odd numbers, threes, or more often than not, it's just a frame. I'm looking for a frame, something that presents itself as a frame, and that does exactly that for me. What I have noticed is when I was just doing a bit to camera and then pointing the camera at this location behind me, the colours in this camera are nowhere near as good as I'm seeing them. So of course, when I post-process the images, I will alter the colours, I'll pull shadows, pull details out in shadows and so on, and make this look fantastic. But this here is an absolute no-brainer. Now I know that because this is just off the path, it's probably been photographed a million times, but again, I'm not bothered about that. I'm going to grab this shot. So a couple of things now, looking through the viewfinder. Love this, love all of that. Not keen on the sky, but love that. But my favourite by far is this single tree here. Ooh, look at that. Look at that there. I hadn't even seen that. That's just fantastic. So, all of this. But I'm not sure if this camera could pick it up, but there's a single tree there, and the canopy here is just so higgledy-piggledy. With a longer lens, just isolating that area there, it looks fantastic. Now, I am struggling with the light ever so slightly, so I'm gonna just continue to wander around doing what I'm doing now, looking for compositions just for myself, and then what I'll do is I'll come back in the morning without all the distractions and I'll just crack on with the pictures, because at the moment it appears that I'm just photographing everything into the sun, and the sun is in and out and in and out, and it's not very complimentary to this style of photography. So what I'll do now is I'll jump to the chat with Mike. So last time we spoke, Mike, was the time I interviewed you, which is now a considerable time before COVID.
Yeah.
Can you be a good photographer if you don't have any influences? Go where? Shoot what? Back in time or forward in time, give me your dream job. Who are your influences?
Dorothy Lange, you know, some of the stuff from, you know, the sharecroppers and all this sort of stuff shot in the Depression of the 1930s.
And the assignment was see what is really there. What does it look like? What does it feel like?
So, briefly, I'm sure lots of things have happened in your life since then. I need an update.
Yeah, lots of cool things have happened, which is nice considering what we've all been through. So where do we go? I'm going to start with, I got invited to teach and run workshops at the International Photography Festival in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. It is the most phenomenal thing. It is photography A-listers from around the world exhibiting the most breathtaking work and being on the main stage, telling their stories, why they do what they do, why they believe so passionately, whether that be about landscape, whether it be about war or frontline medics in another war, or whether it be about, you know, animal welfare. It is the most breathtaking, some incredible architectural stuff, what's the word, abstract, by a guy called Mr. My brain's gone dead, doesn't matter, stick it on screen. But yeah, it's the most astonishing thing. It's completely free, and I would urge you and anyone else to go. Go. It's just the most, I'm privileged to be there. I will talk at length about it, so I'll shut up.
I must have missed that invite. Must have went into my spam folder.
I'll make sure I send you one, mate. I'm going back again in February.
Sounds exciting. What were you doing there then? Were you exhibiting?
Teaching, running workshops. So they hired me to teach and run workshops, and I exhibited.
Cool.
I've got 3 exposure awards. These golds. It's a phenomenal privilege, and you know the awards presented by His Highness Sheikh Sultan Barahman Al Kazmi, the Deputy Ruler of Sharjah, who is himself an amazing photographer. Absolutely incredible. So yes, so they had me running workshops.
It's like an Oscar for photographers.
It looks a bit like an Oscar, but it's a gold. Yeah.
Is it real gold?
No, I did wonder because they're very heavy. I thought I'd wonder.
That'd be melted down.
Yeah. I made some of my photo biker videos out there. Rode a Harley around the desert and photographed a ghost village in the desert. But
wow.
It was a phenomenal thing, and I'm privileged to have been involved in this. You know, and I've got to hang out with some of the biggest names in photography. National Geographic, you know, the editor of National Geographic. These are the sort of people there. Everyone's got imposter syndrome. You know, it's like, whoa, do I deserve to be here?
Cool.
Okay, a moving one. We were in Ukraine in March because a friend of mine happened to say, look, there's these people that got all this aid they want to send to refugees. I used to be a truck driver. Was I up for going?
Oh, this is right at the start of the war.
This was right at the start of the war. And so we did a fundraiser. We got enough money from some wonderful people to take 2 truckloads of aids down to the Polish-Ukraine border, where we met some of the most incredible people. It's like where the very worst things in life are happening, so too do some of the very best.
Sure.
We met some incredibly moving people. It broke my heart seeing these people in this place. It just gets me. You know, one minute your life's normal and then it's in ruins. But hey. What else? I don't know. We went back a second time because I wanted to do more of my storytelling, and I did a story about a guy called Janusz Gorski who does more good in a day than most human beings do in a lifetime. Look. People who've lost everything. These are the people that you're helping.
Here they got a children playing area.
I'm obviously not going down in there taking photographs. Down here, there are kids playing. And I just wanted to document a few days in the life of Janusz, which was an amazing thing. And there's a couple of videos of both events, which if you would be kind enough to pop a link in your description.
Yeah, sure. I remember seeing the videos, and the videos themselves were quite moving, but you were quite moved by the whole experience as well.
Yeah. Actually, that's why I got into photography, because I wanted photography to be a vehicle for me to see and experience things that we don't normally get to experience, and that was a classic example.
Cool. How do you follow a story about war and the atrocities?
Okay, something else then.
Oh, well, on a lighter note, you've been involved with the next Instagram killer.
Well,
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's kind of you to say so. Let's hope so. Clickersnap.com, photo sharing website.
Yep.
The premise is, so many of these sites, they charge quite a lot to do it. You give away your image rights when you upload to them. They farm your data. there are an awful lot of fake views and comments and things run by bots and spam and AI and all this sort of stuff. ClickerSnap is very authentic in that there is no data firing, there is no usage rights handed over, there are no bots, there are no spam, but also if you upload great work and people like it and engage with that work, you get a share of ClickerSnap's revenue stream. So you're not likely to get rich. But if you end up with a couple of $100 at the end of the year for sharing your work, which is, let's face it, we're photographers, we want to do that, well, no one else is going to do that. And of course you can sell your work and all the rest of it. Now, historically, the website that's been there, many of your viewers are probably going, oh, I had a look at that. Yeah, the site that has been there for a while was a beta site to test the concept. It's clunky, it's bug-ridden. Yeah, we know that. Nonetheless, there are 3.7 million users on there now, which I think is phenomenal, and there is a brand new site coming out shortly, and I think now's a good time to get in. But you've got a ClickerSnap.
I have. I remember receiving an email from you right at the very beginning, and I thought, oh, this sounds a very good concept. But I registered, because again, it's good to get in early. I registered, and I think I uploaded 2 or 3 pictures, and I've never been back to the site since. And that's shocking. But with the state of Instagram today, I'm sure, I know I am, and I'm sure other photographers alike will be looking to move on and move away from Instagram, because Instagram basically is trying to replicate TikTok, because TikTok is taking over the world, which is great if you're a youth, but not very good for you know, people who are serious about sharing their photographs, for instance. So as long as, in my opinion, can you upload your images from your PC or your Mac? If the answer is yes, I'm on board. Can you view your pictures in landscape orientation and full screen? If you are already, you're 500% better than what Instagram can ever offer, because that drives me crazy, and I'm sure that must drive other photographers crazy as well.
Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, let's hope it is. I'm a big believer. And yeah, so yeah, I use it, and if anyone wants to see any of my images, any of my pictures...
Oh, you know what I'm going to have to do now? I'm going to have to go and upload more of my pictures now, because somebody's bound to check out my 3 pictures that I've uploaded.
The stuff we've been doing here in this wood, I found it deeply, deeply challenging. So I would love to see some of yours. So if it's a great opportunity for you to upload some of your pictures to ClickerSnap from this shoot,
sure,
I will upload some of mine.
Sure.
We'll see if we can set up a joint album. I don't know. We'll figure that later. Because it would be interesting. I mean, what you're seeing here, I'm struggling with this location. I'm hoping you can give me a couple of little pointers and tips. You've been given a few throughout the filming, but hopefully we can do a couple more.
Fingers crossed. With this light, it has been quite challenging, though, to be fair.
It has. It has.
Right, Mike, it's been a pleasure doing a vlog with you today, and great update, great insight, and we'll have to do it again.
Cheers, pal.
Let's do that.
See you, buddy.
Cheers. So back the following day, if I can just show you in camera what I'm looking at. Composition number 1, I like this just because of the 3 trees that's there, so I'll shoot that something like that, and I want to capture a whole frame here as well. I'll put something like that. I can't level the camera while I'm filming. But again, if you look at the sky here, because I'm not shooting directly into the sun, now the sun is behind me because it's the following day, then that's a lot more palatable. I don't mind that. That's not so distracting, and I quite like that. I will go wider when I actually take a picture with my camera, because the vlogging camera's got a 24mm lens on it and my camera has a 16 to 35mm lens on it, so 16mm obviously much wider than 24mm, so I'll be able to capture a wider shot here. But again, that's what I'm looking at capturing. So for the next 2 hours I just walked aimlessly around the woods looking for various compositions. Bit of a spoiler alert, I didn't really find one that was brilliant, but I think this video has gone on long enough. So right now I'll just skip to the couple of images that I'm fairly happy with. Right, that's it. All we need to do now is look at the images that I managed to capture from this video. Before we do that, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Mike for joining me on this video. As always, Mike, a real pleasure. Thank you very much indeed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Mike's little update as well that I decided to include in this video. But if you do want to check out the original interview that I did with Mike, then I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. But I do suggest that you do, because some of his influences has become my influences that are likely to become your influences. I've included lots of original pictures, things that inspired Mike. I included all of those little video snippets, all sorts. You'll understand what I mean when you check, if you want to go and check that video out. But I would urge that you do. It's certainly one of the best interviews that I've ever done. So again, I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. So as always, do me a favor, help support the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you want to find your way back, I've got 1 or 2 half decent videos in there that you might find interesting yourself, even though I say so myself. Cheers guys.